side, Murphy shooting, save a rebound on the view.
All right, we got some things working. We are live. What is going on, everyone? My name is Casey. You are watching the Red Rubber Duckman All Sports Network, and this is our very first stream on Twitch. So a very huge welcome to everyone who is on Twitch and also who is on our YouTube side. We are, as you can see, we are just about underway. This is the regular season finale for the Atlantic Sun. This is the first stream of the 2025 NCAA March Madness Charity Drive. So this is the third year in a row where I'm doing such a thing. And for the first 2 years, I decided to do mainly videos, but considering that I was a full-time college student, it was very difficult to get videos out on the fly. So I decided to do this first. I decided to do streams this year. This is kind of a test run and seeing how we can cover all the games. So as you see right here, we are doing the Atlantic Sun regular season finale. This is the first conference tournament that is going to be official. And of course, on the TV, you got #1 Auburn taking on Ole Miss. So we're not going to follow just the Atlantic Sun. We're going to be following just college basketball in general. So of course, you have the final 6 games of the Atlantic Sun play. 5 of them have already started. You have Queens University taking on North Alabama. This is a potential #1 seed for the Atlantic Sun tournament. Here you have last year's champion Stetson Hatters. They've been taking a down year. They're already locked in at the #3 seed. And they're currently taking on Jacksonville. They're already up 5-0. Bellarmine is already one of the 2 teams eliminated. And they're taking on Florida Gulf Coast. They're looking to play spoiler here and bump them down to a potential road game there. And here you have Eastern Kentucky taking on North Florida. And right now we're currently scoreless in this one. And here we have Austin Peay taking on West Georgia. Now, West Georgia, this is their first year in Division I, so they weren't going to be eligible for the NCAA tournament to begin with. And they are basically already eliminated. And of course, later on tonight, we have Central Arkansas. They're already locked into the #10 seed, and they are currently taking on Lipscomb. So if I can go ahead and... But this is the first conference tournament to be official. I have the part of the bracket up. Download. Just one of these pages, please. That's all I need. And do you want to know one of the best things about StreamYard? They recently added a way to share GIFs, to share images. But instead, I'm just going to add this as an overlay. So it's going to cover my face, but it doesn't matter. There we go. So as you can see, we have our 9-10 matchup. So basically, here's how it works. Here's how the Atlantic Sun tournament works. You're going to have the 2 lowest seeds. They're going to battle it out in the home court of the #1 seed to potentially play them. And meanwhile, the 7 and 8 seeds will travel to to the site of the number 2 seed, and they will play from there. And let me go ahead and get part 2 up, if I can get to it. Download. That's best for images. So that's the only 2 teams locked into their positions. Actually, 4 if you count the 2 eliminated teams in Bellarmine and West Georgia. But here's this, and there you go. So as I said earlier, the 9-10 matchup will play the number 1 seed right there up top. And then the number 2 seed will take on the winner of the 7 and 8 seeds. Now, for the Atlantic Sun tournament, there's going to be reseeding. There's going to be reseeding for the semifinals. So let's say the number 1 seed were to lose like they did last year with Eastern Kentucky losing. They would go, the number 9 seed would go right there. Meanwhile, and they would take on the top remaining seed, which last year was number 2 Stetson, right there. So, or let's say number 1 were to win, but number 6 were to beat number 3, and number 2 were to win. So 1 would take on number 6, and you basically get all of the scenarios. But right now, this is the only matchup that was decided, that has been locked in. Stetson, like I said earlier, defending Atlantic Sun tournament champions, going up against Central Arkansas. And they're going to travel to either North Alabama or Lipscomb. Meanwhile, all right, let's go ahead and go over some scores. Meanwhile, North Alabama taking no prisoners against Queens University. And speaking of no prisoners, look at these 2 games. Jacksonville currently leading Stetson 12-0. Florida Gulf Coast leading Bellarmine 17-6. Eastern Kentucky and North Florida, that's almost a close game. You could say 10-5. And then, of course, Austin P currently up 3 against West Georgia. It's still going to be a long night to cover. Still a whole lot to cover. For those of you who, if you do have any questions or you want to drop a follow, go right ahead. It's right here. If you want to like, comment, and subscribe, if you're on the YouTube end, go right ahead. And the link to the charity drive, I'll put it in the thing. And by the way, you don't have to donate if you don't have to donate if you don't want to. Let's go ahead. Fine. Studio. Details. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and post that. Post it there. So there you go. There's the Tiltify link for area. There's Tiltify link for National Alliance for Mental Illness. And then, of course, the link in Twitch. So there you go. I'm going to try to cover almost every single thing. We have other clinching scenarios in other conferences. Let's go ahead and take a look at those. Not retreat post at this time. That's fine. I'm trying to go someplace else. Love the fact that it's being stupid already. There we go. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and look at scenarios. Gimme, man after midnight. So the Atlantic Sun, I'll go over some clincher scenarios in a spreadsheet that was created not too long ago. There's other scenarios, like in the Patriot League. If Like in the Patriot League, let's go ahead and go over there and see the games. If American, there you go. So if we're going to the Patriot League. If American were to beat Navy and Bucknell loses to Loyola Maryland, which both are happening right now, the American Eagles will clinch the #1 seed in the Patriot League. That's right. We're about to have a Patriot League regular season champion not named Colgate. It's crazy. Meanwhile, a Loyola win. A Holy Cross loss, a Loyola win over Bucknell, a Holy Cross loss to Colgate, and Lehigh beating Boston University would clinch a #10 seed, meaning dead last for Holy Cross. Now we head on over to the Southern Conference, or SoCon as they like to call it. A Mercer win over East Tennessee State and a Western Carolina loss to Wofford will clinch a #9 seed for the Catamounts. And of course, in the Big South, and then we head over to the Big South. High Point, if they beat USC Upstate, which by the way is already locked into the #9 seed in the Big South, or a UNC Asheville loss to Presbyterian, will clinch the outright regular season championship for the Panthers. And by the way, if both High Point and UNC Asheville were to win, then you have #1 for High Point and #2 for UNC Asheville. If High Point, UNC Asheville, and Gardner-Webb were all to get wins, by the way, Gardner-Webb takes on Radford. Then it'll be High Point at #1, UNC Asheville at #2, and then Winthrop at #3. Now we head on over to the Summit League as we got a matchup here tipping off at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. South Dakota, if they lose to North Dakota State, then they will clinch the #5 seed. And in the Missouri Valley, we still have a regular season champion to decide. Drake already won a share of it. If they were to beat Evansville, or if Bradley were to somehow lose to Valparaiso, then Drake will clinch the outright #1 seed. Now let's head on over to the Sun Belt, or in this case, the Fun Belt. Those games don't start until 7:30 with Georgia State and Coastal Carolina, but South Alabama is on the spotlight. If they were to lose to Southern Miss, then James Madison will clinch the regular season championship as well as a #1 seed. A Southern Miss loss to South Alabama will give them the #12 seed. So there you go. Those are your scenarios for tonight. (2:26) Atlantic Sun regular season finale. Hold on 1 second. Oh, jeez. All right, we're here. So, as you can see, North Alabama and Queens University is getting a lot closer. We're on an official TV timeout. They lead 18-16. Stetson's starting to claw back against Jacksonville. Florida Gulf Coast still leading Bellarmine. Again, Bellarmine's already eliminated. North Florida and Eastern Kentucky, they're starting to get good. Meanwhile, Austin P and West Georgia. Austin P so far the only road team with a lead right now. 227, and I apologize for the language. No stream tomorrow. And then 228 will be, I think, the Sun Belt regular season finale. Let me look. It is the Sun Belt. Sun Belt regular season finale. There. We'll scroll past. There, we'll let that scroll by. There's ticker right there. All right, let's go ahead and do this. This is what happens when you don't prepare everything ahead of time. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this stream. All right, there we go. We can hear. Let me know if you guys can't hear me. There we are. We're good. Share the stream with your friends on YouTube and follow on Twitch. Follow and share on Twitch. And share on Twitch. There. Link Nami in description and chats. Save. Bingo. There we are. All right, so there you go. So tomorrow there will be no stream considering there's no regular season. There's no regular season ending, but on Friday there will be with the Sun Belt regular season. I unfortunately will not be able to stream March 1st with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 regular seasons ending because I have to go out of town for a hockey game. So there's that. But as for tonight, there's going to be a whole lot of scenarios to look out for. Give me all conferences. There you go. All right, there we go. All right, so as you can see right here, North Alabama is currently leading Queens University. North Alabama is currently fighting for a #1 seed with Lipscomb, and the Bisons don't play until later on tonight. Jacksonville and Stetson has gotten a whole lot closer. Northeast Ohio, WX, what's going on? He says, thoughts on Cleveland State. Cleveland State has looked very impressive in the Horizon. Has looked pretty impressive in the Horizon League. They've actually been a fun team to watch. I really do think, and the Horizon League is going to be one of the tournaments I'm looking forward to because you have Robert Morris, who just passed Cleveland State up top. Yeah, but right now Cleveland State they're currently on a scale where they lost 4-6. Hopefully Cleveland State can get their act together. And I really would like to see a Cleveland State versus Youngstown State final. Hopefully they can swap positions at some point or get to a seed close enough possible where it's possible enough for them to fight for a championship. Because I think Cleveland State does have potential. They need to kind of get their act together. I see them right now as a fifth. I see them right now as a 15 seed, and if you see bracket matrix, Robert Morris is there too. The Horizon League might produce a potential giant killer here. But yeah, now Robert Morris is getting all the attention. They're still one of the hottest teams. They won 6 straight. So if Cleveland State wants to win the Horizon League, they might want to get their act together. And they do. Oh, they have a good game coming up. Wright State. Oh, good. It's Wright State. Oh, they're in 8th. That's not too bad. And Wright State's currently 1.5 point favorites. So there you go. But yeah, I can't wait. But yeah, Cleveland State has looked impressive for a good chunk of the season. Hopefully they can get together if they want to make it to the NCAA tournament. But yeah, thanks for hopping in. Feel free to share this with your friends as well. As for we hit an official TV timeout in Florida Gulf Coast and Bellarmine, 33-22. The Eagles currently lead. And we have a tie. We have a tie here in North Florida and Eastern Kentucky at 2020. I'm hoping for some pretty close games. I want the fine folks who have to work on the seating for the Atlantic Sun tournament to get a workout. That's all I want. And West Georgia, as I mentioned, they're already eliminated from the Atlantic Sun tournament. So they might as well play spoiler against Austin Peay. Why not? As I keep going as my cursor keeps going all over the place. There we go. Now we're starting to get some close games. Now we're starting to get some good action. All right. Go ahead and keep chatting. I am gonna go use the restroom. I will be right back. All right, we're back. So my apologies for that. Right now, Auburn is laying waste on Ole Miss. So yeah, they're going. We just hit halftime in some games. Meanwhile, we got a top 25 matchup we should talk about. So there's that. Excuse me. Number 8, Mississippi State. Michigan State, I should say. Sorry. Is currently down to 16 Maryland, 23-21. Halftime, UConn doing fine in their matchup against Georgetown, 42-35. In one of the matchups we talked about, Presbyterian currently up 1 on UNC Asheville, 28-27 at halftime. And Navy not going away in their game against American. And they better hope they can get it together because Loyola Maryland's up by 10 on Bucknell. And of course, Wofford is up against Western Carolina, 19-17. Terriers currently lead Catamounts. And Holy Cross looks like they're on their way to a number 10 seed. They're down against Colgate, 28-23. So that's what's going on right now. We're going to refresh this because I know there's a whole lot more. There we go. And we currently have an upset brewing in College Station with Vanderbilt up on number 12 Texas A&M, 23-16. That's over on SEC Network if you have that. My God. Citadel. It's no wonder you're a number 10 seed in the Southern Conference. They're currently down on against Furman 28-7. We're at 6:39 to go in the first half on that one. But we got some close games here. Let's go ahead and go over those again. As North Alabama calls timeout here. Queens University up on North Alabama 27-24. Keep in mind, North Alabama's fighting to get the number one seed in the Atlantic Sun. Jacksonville up on Stetson 21-16. Stetson locked in at number 9. Bellarmine's eliminated. They're trying to give Florida Gulf Coast a scare, but to no avail. And Eastern Kentucky up on North Florida 31-26. Austin P currently up on West Georgia. As I mentioned, Central Arkansas and Lipscomb will play later on tonight. I'm going to go ahead and hop on over to College Sports Ball. All right, so let's go ahead. So I currently have a spreadsheet up. Let's see who's currently up. Queens University. Currently up. Queens University. Jacksonville. Let's see, Jacksonville. We got Florida Gulf Coast up. So right now, if this result holds, it looks like right now, if this result holds, looks like Florida. Right now, if this result holds, it looks like Queens will be. Let's go ahead and go over high. Lipscomb can't finish outside the top two. But North Alabama could drop as low as number 3. Florida Gulf Coast could reach up as high as number 2 and no lower than seed number 5. And let's see, Jacksonville can reach as high as number 3, but go down to as low as number 6. Basically, your top six is locked in. The 7 and 8 seeds will be decided between North Florida and Austin P. See, right now. So right now, Austin P is up, North Florida down. So I would assume. So that would mean that Austin P would be the home team for the 7-8 matchup. Obviously, they're going to be traveling to whoever's the number 2 seed no matter what. But right now, Austin P has a slight edge in terms of tiebreaker. So we'll just have to see what happens. But that could be one huge battle for a 7-8 seed supremacy. There we go. There we go. Looks a little better. I'm sorry if I'm looking down on my phone a lot. That's what. And I apologize if I'm looking down on my phone a lot, but there's a whole lot of scenarios and a whole lot of games to go over. Of course, aside from the 6 games we have right there. Second half just started in some of these games, especially our only top 25 matchup for tonight. Actually, yeah, is it our only top 25 matchup tonight? Yep. Number 8 and number 16. Number 16, Maryland's up on Michigan State, 23-21. They just moved up to a number 2 seed, by the way, in the bracket matrix. So there's a whole lot. So there's a whole lot Michigan State needs to do if they want to stay up above the 2 seed line. And I currently have the Auburn and Ole Miss game up on my TV. The Auburn, of course, number 1 team in the country. They're currently thrashing Ole Miss right now by 20. Make that 18. Make that 18 just now. It's 38-20 on that one. But as you see down below, those are the next 3 days. Tomorrow I won't be able to. Tomorrow there's no stream because there's no regular season finales to go over. And of course, you have the Sun Belt regular season finale on Friday, as well as some other games. Because, of course, Akron and Kent State are going to be fighting again. Akron took the first game at Kent, and now they have to play in a whiteout. So that's going to be a lot of fun over there at the James A. Rhodes Arena. And I'm all out of water. Yes, I know, TV. Ethernet not connected. I don't care. Pretty back and forth affair right going on right now. Let's see what's going on in college sports ball. Not much of anything in the huddle. So there you go. There's Coach Hurley. There's Coach Dan Hurley for UConn. They're just trying to talk to his guys here. Because UConn, I think they're locked in a battle with Georgetown. They just started the second half in that one. What's that? Florida Gulf Coast. Yeah, what's your beef with Dunk City? I mean, Dunk City. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that nickname in ages. Does Florida Gulf Coast still call themselves that? Not sure if they do or not. Sorry about that. And in the second half, you have UNC Asheville just jumping in front of Presbyterian. We're at 37-36, 15:30 to go in the second half on that one. Let's go ahead. Look at all their scores. There's North Alabama. They're up on top of Queens now. So right now they have to root for Central Arkansas to beat Lipscomb. They're going to be doing some scoreboard watching in the second half if they end up beating Queens. This is huge because obviously North Alabama. Actually, no. Lipscomb is promised a top 2 seed. They're going to be hosting a playing game no matter what. And keep in mind, like I mentioned earlier, they're reseeding. They're reseeding for the quarterfinals. So, and all those games, by the way, will be at campus sites. So 7, 8, 9, 10. There is a good chance that they won't be able to host a tournament. Obviously, number 10 seed can't host it because they're the lowest. But keep in mind, after the quarterfinals, there will be reseeding. So there's that. I'm going to go blow my nose. Get saline. Get some saline. I'll be right back, guys. All right, we're back here. I think there was one person on the YouTube link. I think they arrived when I was gone. Oh, well. Hopefully they can come back. So, all right, we just had a game that went to halftime. We had Bellarmine and Florida Gulf Coast. The Eagles up by 8. Right now, it's looking likely that Austin P will be the number 7 seed headed into the number 2 seed's house. Austin P up by West Georgia by 3. And then, of course, Eastern Kentucky up on North Florida. See Johnny Broom making it look easy. Yeah, Auburn currently the number 1 seed. And Ole Miss just brought it to within single digits, down to 8. 40-32 Auburn, 3:21 to go in the first half here. Of course, we have a few halftime games coming up. And North Alabama just went into halftime. They're up on 3 by Queens. They're trying to steal the number 1 seed from Lipscomb. Meanwhile, I think my mom is watching Judge Judy. Hold on one second. Okay, I don't really like these kinds of posts. Like posting the highest semester GPA in team history. This is the Purdue roller hockey team, not trying to bring them down or anything. 2.09. That's very low. That's fairly low. Oh, Reckoning tried to post something on College Sports Ball. I sent that to the wrong number. Sorry about that. Oh boy, we're gonna have some assistant coaches on Ole Miss's side on the court. If they're not, it looks damn close. Yeah, foul is called. There against Ole Miss. see what's going on here. Oh yeah, college baseball has just gotten started, and you're not going to have the tournament, of course, until June. So there's a long way to go for that. All right. Let's see. Clemson softball gives Georgia their first loss for those of you softball fans out there. And Liberty baseball loses to Duke. 12-4. Number 17. Duke goes down. Sorry. Meanwhile, Jacksonville and Stetson, they haven't ended. Sorry. Let's see, bro. If the refs watched Carson Cooper and called him for even half the fouls he commits, he'd regularly foul out. Who's Carson Cooper? Should I know who that is? Carson Cooper from Michigan State. Ooh. So how's that game going? Oh, they're up. See, number 8 Michigan State up by 6 against number 16 Maryland. It's 37-31, 11:55 to go in the second half in that one. Currently, the only game going on right now for the Atlantic Sun, the one game that's not at halftime right now, it is Stetson and Jacksonville. So we're going to do some scoreboard watching here for the first few minutes. Why do I have to blow my nose again? All right, there's that. Oh, there you go. There's some good news for Kentucky. Lamont Butler and Jackson Robinson will be available. So that's some good news for Kentucky, who do they go up against? So at 9 o'clock Eastern, number 17 Kentucky's taking on Oklahoma. Yeah, that's a pretty big one. I think Oklahoma has sneaked into the bracket matrix rate recently. They're currently in a number. They're currently at number 11. I think Andy Katz has them as a number 10 seed. So if they can pull off a win over number 17 Kentucky, that might be sweet. But Kentucky just got two of their best players back. Lamont Butler and Jackson Robinson, they're returning. So one game going on right now for the Atlantic Sun, that's Jacksonville and Stetson. Jacksonville currently up on that one. So what were to happen for Jacksonville here? Obviously, with a win, they have a higher chance again on number 3 seed. Is there a scenario where Stetson can bring them down, or a loss doesn't bring them down? No. So this is basically must-win territory for the Dolphins here. Oh, jeez. All right, let's see what else goes on here. Yeah, UConn really isn't pulling away as much as they should. They're going up against Georgetown right now. And 64-56, the Hoyas are pretty much still in it. This is Big East play. Of course, we're not just going to cover the Atlantic Sun. There's obviously a whole lot more. There's obviously a whole lot more conferences to cover. Like Boston University is about to beat Lehigh. I think that's one of the games we mentioned in one of the scenarios over in the Patriot League, because even though that one doesn't end until Saturday, which unfortunately I will not be able to stream because I'll be going to a hockey game. That's not what I want. That's what I want. Yeah, Lehigh also needs to win for the Holy Cross, or Holy Cross to be a 10 seed. So, excuse me. There is a good chance that Holy Cross will survive. Number 10 spot for now. Really, ESPN, you're putting the Penguins on basically a matinee. It's going to be Penguins are tanking right now. I'm not sure if people want to see some tanking. Otherwise, you're a sicko. All right, Stetson and Jackson have gone to halftime, and we had some second half start, like Florida Gulf Coast and Bellarmine. They just started back up. So it should not be too long. I'm going to be looking down at my phone constantly. It's almost like school when you're trying to look at some major moves that have happened. All right, so we got some highlights going on. They just hit halftime in Auburn. Vanderbilt and Texas A&M. I talked about Texas A&M being in trouble for a good part of tonight. And it looks like they currently still are in trouble. Yep, they're down 2 at the half, 34-32. Based on current standings, Texas A&M would be a number 6 seed, and Vanderbilt. See, this is the best part of the Southeast Conference because right now you have 16. You have 16 teams, but right now I think 4 are outside of the tournament. Actually, no, you have 3 outside. That's Georgia, LSU, and South Carolina. Those are the only 3 that would not be alive for the SEC tournament, or at least the NCAA tournament out of the SEC. It's become a power conference. Basically, it's swapped places with the ACC and Big Ten. And they're like, and they took the football move personally because they're like, you know what? If you're going to take our spots in college football, we're going to take away your spot in college basketball. That plain and simple. And in a way, look at them. Because you have 3, I think 3 of the number 1 seeds are part of the SEC. Yeah, Auburn, Alabama, and Florida. The only one who's outside the SEC on that 1 seed line is Duke. Other than that, it's all SEC all day. All right, Eastern Kentucky and North Florida, they just started back up. There's North Alabama, Queens University. North Alabama fighting to be the number 1 seed. They got to depend on Lipscomb to lose. Excuse me. We have 3 people in here, 1 person on YouTube, 2 on Twitch. Feel free to drop a follow on Twitch and like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. If you're on both, share it with your friends. That goes for people on both YouTube and Twitch. But yeah, the SEC tournament is just going to be one big bloodbath. And I hear a kitty outside. Unfortunately, we already have enough cats. All right. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Boston University and Lehigh also went against each other in men's and women's basketball too. And Boston University takes out Lehigh when Lehigh's trying to lock up the Patriot League in women's basketball. Army's still alive in terms of locking up the Patriot League there. Oh, Whew. All right, we're back. Yeah, but that game also went final. Boston University pulling off the sweep against Lehigh in men's and women's. A complete sweep for Boston University over Lehigh and on the men's side. So that means Holy Cross will stay away for the 10 slot for now in the Patriot League. See High Point doing fairly well. Well, we have a chance. Let's see if we have a chance to see the top 3 seeds in the Big South locked in. Right now, Presbyterian up on UNC Asheville, 52-50, 346 to go in that one. I think the scenario is, or if UNC Asheville loses, then High Point gets the top seed in the Big South. What do you want? What do you want, Skip Bayless? See, North Alabama currently up by 7. The Florida Gulf Coast up on Bellarmine by 13. North Florida not going away against Eastern Kentucky. And they just started in Nashville. Lipscomb already up 5-0 on Central Arkansas. So North Alabama, you're going to have to start cheering for Central Arkansas extra much. And yes, I know that sentence didn't make any sense. Let's see what else we got here. But also looks like the Huskies learned that letting their opponents take uncontested threes all game isn't a good defensive strategy. Well, there you go. Yeah, that might be a good strategy here. Not take uncontested threes. Wonder how people thought of that. It's crazy. Even if their opponent doesn't make a high percentage of shots from beyond the arc. Yeah, you can't give them open threes like that. You just can't. Shit. Meanwhile, we had some games start back up. Drake, of course, fighting for the number 1 seed in the Missouri Valley. They're up 6-2 against Evansville. North Dakota State trying to lock up South Dakota as the number 5. They're up 5-2. I think if I remember, there was another one. Okay, Belmont's not locked into the 4th slot yet. There's Charles Barkley. There's a statue of Charles Barkley outside of Auburn. He's saying hi to some fans as they start the second half over there in Auburn, Alabama. See, right now, Ole Miss trying to knock off the Tigers at home. Well, that's the end of the water. No. Shop. What you guys doing here? All right, I'm going to go ahead and go fill up some water. Nah, we can just say that as restroom break for now. We'll be right back, guys. All right. When that banner comes down, that's when you know I'm back. Actually, I should just leave that up for. Actually, I should just leave that up. That way you don't. That way you don't assume it's coming. But it does look like Presbyterian is going to beat UNC Asheville with 27 seconds left. A chance for UNC Asheville to lock up. At least a share might be squandered here. And High Point will get the number 1 seed in the Big South. Let's see, NBA Friday. Ooh. If there wasn't a Jerry drive going on right now, I might have streamed Cavs Celtics. That would be a fun one. And Clippers Lakers too. Ooh. Whole lot of good games. All right. So let's see who's currently in trajectory. North Alabama up by 6. Stetson Jacksonville hasn't gotten back from the half yet. Florida Gulf Coast beating up on Bellarmine, but Bellarmine's already eliminated. Meanwhile, Austin P looking to place West Georgia looking to play spoiler against Austin P at home, but to no avail. Oh, what is this? What on earth is this? Hello? Go to my channel. What is this? Begins completed. Okay. Remove the space. I don't get it. Now, I want to remove it. I'm going to go ahead and head on over to Twitch. And let's see if I can. Let me see if I can get rid of it. There. Delete message. So there we go. Does that get rid of that? I think so. Yeah, I got another follower on Twitch. Cole Parker, thank you for if you're on, thank you for hopping on. Thank you for following. Let's head on over back to TreeCore. Let's see what's going on over there. So, all right, nothing much there in terms of new chats. So, yep. A loss for UNC Asheville clinches the outright Big South title for High Point. Let's go ahead and find the Big South here. There you are. Let's see, download. Yes, as a PNG. There. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, So here's the Big South. Here's what's just happened. Of course, you have the number 9 seed UNC Asheville. They just locked up a spot. They locked up their spot at number 9 not too long ago, albeit they didn't want to. But here's High Point. That is your regular season champion out of the Big South. So there's that. That's the big story coming out of the Big South. So top 3 seeds, they so far only the number 1 seeds locked in. See what else is going on. Ooh, North Florida fighting back. Let me refresh here. There we go. It's looking better. Now we're back from break for Stetson and Jacksonville. North Alabama up by 7 on Queens. That's a big one going on right now because Austin P right now is in front. Let me see what would happen. Like, doesn't matter who wins. Yeah, you kind of need Austin P to lose. So Austin P is win, and you get the 7th seed. So in other words, but Austin P and North Florida are going to be facing off in the tournament regardless. We just need to know what seeds they're going to be at. We just need to know what seeds they're going to be in. Saturday, that's going to be a good one. Number 1 Auburn and number 17 Kentucky. Oh, that ought to be a lot of fun. Bruce Pearl talking with us, guys. I can hear him talking even through the mute. Yep. From Projection Sports, High Point wins the Big South regular season title outright before their game has finished by virtue of UNC Asheville losing. This is back-to-back championships for the Panthers, who will again be the number 1 seed in the Big South tournament in Johnson City, Tennessee, next week. And Johnson City, I think that's the home of East Tennessee State in the Southern Conference, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. East Tennessee State. The Freedom Hall Civic Center. That's going to be the home of East Tennessee State University. That's going to be who's hosting the Big South tournament. So basically at a neutral site, because last year they played in they played it up at High Point, and High Point didn't end up winning. High Point ended up losing in the semifinals, I think, to Longwood, who would go on to win the Big South tournament. High Point is still looking for their first tournament. Still looking for their first tournament victory. I don't think I need to look and see if High Point. I need to look and see if High Point made it into the NCAA tournament before. They haven't. So, for those of you looking at your Never Make the Tournament club, here's one of the members, High Point. Pretty good team, but not unbeatable. That's what makes the Big South great. Can't wait to see how many number 1s go down. One of the best parts of March Madness, seeing all the Seeing all the number one seeds in the conference tournaments go down. Let's see anything. What's going on over in Rosbosy? I'm not sure if talking some things over there. Nope, don't look like it. So the tree court is the one that's more used. Need to look and see if other games have gone final. Oh, East Tennessee State beating Mercer. I think that's part of another one too. Could be scenarios from Mid-Major Madness. So that means Western Carolina cannot be slotted into that number 9 seed in the Southern Conference tournament. So, but in the Southern Conference tournament, the 10 seed's already decided. It's the Citadel. So the lowest seed right now is the number 9 seed. As for a High Point, I think they were going to win the outright Big South tournament, Big South championship regardless, because they're up on 25 on USC Upstate right now. Let's go ahead and go over some scores. Oh, Jacksonville up on 14 on Stetson. Or should I say 10? ESPN's faster than CBS Sports. Okay, so we'll look at this. All right, so we'll look at this. North Alabama up on Queens 61-55. North Florida just going in front is Eastern Kentucky. Again, that's not going to change anything because Austin P is up on West Georgia. And Austin P is basically winning. You're the 7th seed territory. I need some coffee when I do these streams. Yep, UConn holds on. Twin 93-79. Georgia is now eliminated from first round by consideration. Maryland has a shot to tie MSU late. And it says we are even at 55. It's 41 seconds left of that one. That's your only top 25 matchup. It's only matchup tonight within the top 25. Well, Chuck's gotta love what he's seeing. Let's see. Central Arkansas is starting to bounce back a little bit. Not a lot, but it's there. 10 minutes until Nova Seton. Yep. Are we really about to go to overtime? And a half court buzzer beater. Michigan State wins. Oh, they showed it on Florida State. Showed it at Florida on FS1's game highlights. Oh, shoot. We got to look at that. That's as bad as it gets for Maryland. Not only you pull up from beyond NBA 3 range, but you give Sparty enough time to do that. Oh, boy. And the crowd is dead silent, I'm sure. From the left side of the M, from beyond half court. Wow. They got to show it. They got to show it on ESPN. They got to show it on ESPN here shortly. They really do. So right now, it's looking safe to say that Florida Gulf Coast is going to take care of Bellarmine. We got a very, very good game happening in Jacksonville right now, North Florida. Not at Jacksonville University. This is North Florida in Eastern Kentucky. That's good. That's a fun one. All right, they just showed it. Turn this down. We don't want to get taken down by Big Ten. Whoa. Go back. And that is way out. Game over. Wow, Michigan State. Wow. Wow. A half court heave. Yeah, why would you take the Maryland, why would you even go for a 3 there? Just burn clock. And not to mention you gave them plenty of time to set up. Actually, I think you would have given Michigan State plenty of chance to begin with. They had 2 timeouts. I don't know why you would shoot there. Maryland player, I mean. As there's a 3 right there by Auburn. So any other games that went final doesn't look like it. The one for the Sun Belt I talked about earlier with South Alabama and Southern Miss, that game just started. Let's see, Jacksonville is winning against Stetson. We're not even halfway through the first half for the second half yet. So they have plenty of time to right ship. And Cardwell with 4 points for Auburn. Quick shot to try for a rebound. Yeah, I guess. But the thing is, you had 5 whole seconds. 5 whole seconds where you could do something. But no, you didn't. Yeah, we all know what this is. This really is. Play the hardball rock. What do we have here? A sluggish fourth quarter in women's basketball, Utah State, San Jose State. We're even at 63. Fourth quarter score 4-2, San Jose State. And we are at 6:12 to go in that one. There's that. See, 3:28 to go. That's a logical's favorite number. North Alabama up on Queens. But yeah, man. That Maryland, that shot from Michigan State, that's just a backbreaker for Maryland. And Maryland is currently sitting at a number 5 seed, and I think Michigan State will move a little bit closer to that number 1 seed line. I don't think they're going to be a number 1 come selection Sunday on March 16th, but it's going to be rather close, I would say. Why the hell is Pittsburgh trending? Oh, fog. Yeah, that makes sense. See, UNC Asheville wins their first game against a Division One team all year, let alone conference game. Dear God. This is in women's basketball, by the way. They beat Presbyterian 67-60. You know what? People are saying Presbyterians shouldn't even play in the Big South tournament. Oh, jeez. You guys are wild. Well, we have to be getting close to a final here. Here in Atlantic Sun play. We are with Florida Gulf Coast and Bowerman. $77.56, 90 seconds left. Yeah, it's pretty much done. Meanwhile, West Georgia has brought it to within 1 against Austin P. Unfortunately for North Florida, they have gone down 6. So Austin P might be saved by the bell here if this keeps up. Let's see. So we got, okay. And 24 Ampers says, including tonight's win over Davidson, Richmond is 32-3 in their last 35 conference games. Wow. And this is the women's side. They are back to back. For the first time in program history, Richmond women's basketball is the outright back to back Atlantic 10 women's basketball regular season champions. Players had 2024 and 2025 to their title history alongside 1904 and 1990 in the Colonial Athletic Association, now the Coastal Athletic Association. Not quite the level of domination by South Carolina, UConn, and Middle Tennessee in their conferences, but still damn impressive. Oh, Scott Van Pelt was at that game. Oh, damn. Man, prayers out to him. Looking at that. Four seconds left. Yeah, we pretty much can call. Yeah, we can pretty much now call it now for Bellarmine. Let's go ahead and there we go. And that includes everything. So Florida Gulf Coast will get the win over Bellarmine. We're going to go ahead and see what scenes have been locked in. Right now, I think it's none. Let's see what we got. Buckeyes beat the Spartans in women's basketball. Good. Here. Let's see. All right, we have some games in the final minutes. Final, final minute, I should say, with North Alabama up by 6 on Queens. And, of course, North Florida down 4 in a game they so need to have. And they just showed the Michigan State game winner. You know, why would you shoot there when you have so much time to kill? Yeah, it's going to be a learning. Yeah, it's going to be a life lesson for them. Life lesson for him. When you have more than enough time and you have the ball in your hands, you have to hold on to it. You have to hold on to it until the dying minutes, until the dying seconds. So West Georgia is just pulled in front of Austin Peay, but it looks like they're going to be safe with North Florida. They just called timeout. Keep in mind, Austin Peay and North Florida are going to be facing each other regardless, no matter where they go to. Wait, justice for who? Tree? Centel. What else? Centel. Oh. Oh, Elon Musk took it down. Of course he did. This guy can't have any more power or sugar or caffeine. Oh, jeez. What do we have here? We had another game go final. Duquesne taking down LaSalle in Atlantic 10 play, 67-62. This is men's basketball here. Guys, is it me or has there been more half-court buzzer beaters recently? It's just us. It's just you. You might see them more because you actually pay more attention. Yeah. Yep, it's not called March Madness. Yeah, it's called March Madness for a reason. And that is what we are getting. So West Georgia coming back against Austin Peay, but unless North Florida does something on their final possession, might be all for naught. Nope, Eastern Kentucky's calling a timeout with 21 seconds left. Meanwhile, Central Arkansas is down by 9 for Lipscomb. That's bad news for North Alabama if you guys want the number 1 seed. Let's see. We haven't had anything go final yet. Queens, I think, just brought it to within 4. Let's see. Baltimore Sports. College Park is 8 miles from DC. Technically, that's more. It's more DC. Baltimore Sportsman's Christmas. Mark Andrews miscues versus Buffalo. Orioles lose Corbin Burns and Santander due to free agency. Justin Tucker, Steve Smith, and Terrell Suggs, and honorable mention Ben Cleveland. Less mention about those names, the better. The less mention about those names, the better. And now the half-court buzzer beater to knock off Maryland. Yeah, I can't catch a break. Yep, Eastern Kentucky fouls. That's going to do it for North Florida. Yep, Eastern Kentucky takes out North Florida, and that means we can takes down North Florida, and that means we can lock up another one. Oops. Yeah, that game's going to go final in a second. And there you go, Eastern Kentucky. Yep, Eastern Kentucky just takes out North Florida. We're going to go ahead and see what that does to the bracket. So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and do one game at a time because we just had some teams locked in. If you'll want to hurry up, thank you. Go back to the Atlantic Sun. Give me Atlantic Sun. I don't need the Atlantic 10. Thank you. See, Austin P goes to the number 7 slot. Austin P. And at the number 7 slot, and North Florida is in the number 8 slot in the Atlantic Sun. Let's go ahead and lock those in. Austin P locked in. North Florida goes down here. CDA starters might have been leaked. Okay, sounds good. Not really an expert in that arena unless I'm living under a rock. Download. Now let's go ahead and see some other games that have gone final. North Alabama taking out Queens. And 143 Jacksonville has not beaten Stetson as of yet. Let's see who did win. That was North Alabama. Levy. And that means Queens is locked in. It means Queens is locked into the number 6 seed. And Florida Gulf Coast locked in to the number 3 slot. All right, so there we go. Now we're going to go ahead and make some changes. Any others that have gone final, going once, going twice? Okay, West Georgia did beat Austin Peay, but who cares about that anymore? But nobody really cares about that anymore. We can just focus on this one. Ah. No. So Queens locked into the number 6 seed. Queens locked in at number 6. Florida Gulf Coast. Guess what? There's another official tournament game. Florida Gulf Coast locked in to number 3 seed. Oops. I'm gonna, that's it. That's it. You're muted. You know what? That's it. You're muted until I turn it back on. There. Turn it back on. There. Should be good now. There. Should be good now. You should be avoiding any Discord ping sounds. Put it up. Put it up. Put it up. You should be avoiding those sounds. All right. So now we can download this. So yeah, Austin Peay taking out West Georgia, and that game hasn't gone final. We are in the second half in Lipscomb, by the way. $345 teams left in the teams left tracker. Miami of Florida becomes the first powerhouse conference team to be eliminated, failing to qualify for the NCAA tournament in a brutal fall from their Final Four appearance just 2 years ago. Ouch. Mm-hmm. But these are your playing games for the Atlantic Sun tournament. Stetson, Central Arkansas, they'll be traveling. So it looks like either Lipscomb or North Alabama. Meanwhile, we will not know where Austin Peay and North Florida. We already knew that they were going to be facing each other. We just didn't know which seed that they were going to be. And as I mentioned earlier, we have another conference matchup locked in, and that is Florida Gulf Coast taking on Queens. And we are down to our last 4 seats to be locked in. So there you go. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, and be sure to follow Twitch and share the stream with your friends regardless of where you're at. This is a place to be if you want some March Madness coverage. All right. What? Yep, half court heave for the win. Yep. That's basically what happened. Here comes the passively progressive commercials. I'll treat you for a cat. Bad idea. So yeah, either Jacksonville or Eastern Kentucky is going to get the 4 or 5 seed. That's another matchup. Jacksonville and Eastern Kentucky. We just don't know what seed line they're going to be in. Whoever, and by the way, that Florida Gulf Coast game, that's going to be at Fort Myers because the Atlantic Sun, they play on campus sites. So there's your 3-6 matchup. Florida Gulf Coast and Queens. The bracket does look incomplete for a little bit, but it's a confirmed matchup in Fort Myers, the 3-6 matchup. Florida Gulf Coast and Queens. And there's where you're playing games, the 9-10 matchup. It's a very unconventional seeding by the Atlantic Sun. I'm aware of that. But they have the 2 lowest seeds, Stetson and Central Arkansas, battling out. And they're going to travel to whoever the number 1 seed is, whether it's Lipscomb or North Alabama. They'll be playing a playing game there, and they'll face, and the winner of that will face that number 1 seed the very next day in their home court. And Austin P in North Florida, there's your 7-8 matchup. That's your other playing game. They'll take on whoever the number 2 seed is, the winner of that one. Because number 1 or number 2 is going to be either Lipscomb or North Alabama. And with the way the scores are at right now, it looks like it's going to be Lipscomb. We'll just have to wait and see. We're in the final minute of Stetson and Jacksonville. So these are your 2 games that you get to look at right here. So, and we might even go to ESPN Plus if we so desire. Just gonna stretch a little bit. Countdown tip-off on ESPN News. It's Texas and Arkansas. We're 3 minutes away from that one. Fuck you, Baltimore! They're talking about the Michigan State and Maryland game that happened earlier. It's unbelievable what happened over there. Oh, for God's sake. For God's sake, not again. Really? Just want to go there. I want to see the chat room. I think it's gone. And I can't see a thing. Stream manager, chat. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, I'm really trying to get rid of that comment. Going to Twitch. Give me my channel. Career dashboard. Give me stream manager. Any recent chats? It doesn't look like it because I think they're gone. Oh, well. Not much we can do there. The agony of defeat. Yep. And it was wild. And we just had the game go final between Stetson and Jacksonville. Jacksonville gets a win. Let's see what that does. Nah. So that means there's only one more battle left. Number 4 seed will be Jacksonville. 4 seed JU. Number 5 EKU. So Jacksonville will be hosting Eastern Kentucky. I don't want to delete that. Do you have any site where I could watch the game live in Europe? I do not actually, no. If you go on, if you have a VPN, you could try to, if you have a VPN, you could try to find something. But I do not condone piracy on any of my streams, so it's 3:12 in the morning. What are you doing up so late? But I appreciate you. I appreciate you being in there. But yeah, if you have a VPN, I highly suggest you try to find some. Because right now I don't really have. Because right now I don't really think you could stream anything on here unless you have ESPN Plus. Central Arkansas and Lipscomb. That's the only game going on right now in the Atlantic Sun. I want to see if I can get that on ESPN Plus. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Do not be stupid. ESPN. Let me watch. That's better. But of course, we're going to see if it's muted, and it already is. We're good. Already is. We're good. Hey, Billy, what's going on? You just woke up? Yep. Must be hard working the late night shift. It's hard for us here with the UFC also. You guys got it good. Here on the Eastern time zone, especially if you're going to watch like WWE, all the pay-per-views going on at 3 in the morning. I couldn't imagine how you guys do it over there. We stay till 7 in the morning, most of the events. Yeah, that's a big part. That's got to be one of the reasons why you like That's why you like some of the NFL games, because now you can watch it in the afternoon while we have to get up at the butt crack of dawn. That's one reason why you like it. But Champ Life, thanks for hopping in on Twitch. Billy, thanks for being there on YouTube. That's right. We are on both Twitch and on YouTube. So be sure to check out both sides. But if you excuse me, I have the Central Arkansas Lipscomb game up. I'm going to go ahead and look at NFL does not exist in Europe. No one knows anything about it. You clearly haven't seen the folks in London or Germany, wherever they're promoting it. So you have your own football. Yep, association football, aka soccer. And you can't call it soccer. We just said the abbreviation. So there's that. That's called Hyundai. Well, let me look. Well, that joke is not funny then. It's not funny now. American Hyundai. Here we go. What is football ninly? I know that's the egg is not. I know the football is not an egg shape. I need to look up the actual shape. It's a prolate spheroid. So yeah, it's technically a sphere, except with an ellipse that's not really close. So there's that. Hyundai. A sphere like an egg. It's a prolate spheroid. That's the official name of it. I'm not going to call it that. Yeah, there you go. Trying to defend our sport any way I can here. But yeah, we did have two more. We did have two more get locked in. I'm going to go ahead and update it. We have Jacksonville locked in. Whoops, didn't mean to go back that far. Give me Jacksonville at number 4. Jackson. You lock in or what? Boom. There we are. Now we can lock in Jacksonville as the number 4 seed. And now the next one, Eastern Kentucky at number 5. See, Jacksonville, Eastern Kentucky. That's locked in. Download so I can show you guys the bracket. Beg your pardon. But here is your 4-5 matchup. It just got locked in. With that being Jacksonville in Eastern Kentucky. So there you go. The top 2 seeds there yet to be locked in. Right now, Central Arkansas is currently in a battle with our number 10 seed, Central Arkansas. They're up by 7 with 12:42 to go in the second half. If Lipscomb wins, they get the number 1 seed. If Lipscomb loses, however, then North Alabama will get the number 1 seed. So there's that. We're going to try to catch up here. Now we're on a commercial break with Central Arkansas getting up there. And now we're in Texas and Arkansas for college basketball on ESPN2. And I think we're about to have a game end for some scenarios. The Big South we already talked about with High Point locking in that number 1 seed. Western Carolina. Let me hold on 1 second. I think Western Carolina survives the number 9 seed for now. Yeah, with Mercer losing. Give me. So yeah, with Mercer losing, Western can't get in. America, let's go to the Patriot League with the American and Bucknell. Actually, Bucknell came back and won, so the American and Navy lost to, and Navy beat Americans. So regardless, the American Eagles can't win the number 1 seed for now in the Patriot League for now. Oh no. Wait, who got hurt in an absolute flop? Oh no. That's bad news if you're Kentucky. That is very bad news if you're Kentucky. Amari Williams just went down on a flop. That's very bad news if you're Kentucky. So High Point, we already mentioned, they clinched the number 1 seed. With Gardner-Webb not winning. So 1 out of the 3 teams with High Point, UNC Asheville, and Gardner-Webb won. High Point gets the number 1 seed in the Big South, like we mentioned. Let's head on over to the Summit League because that's where we have another one. North Dakota State so far is locking South Dakota into that number 5 seed. They're at 53-48. North Dakota State beating South Dakota. Let's check the Missouri Valley as there's a number 1 seed at stake. Drake in a close one against Evansville, 46-44. And Bradley making sure they don't lose to Valparaiso. Both Drake and Bradley on the road. By the way, let's go ahead and go over to the Sun Belt. James Madison. I already locked him into that number 1 seed, but we'll just see what happens here. I can always go back and since I'm working on graphics, I can always go back and edit afterwards. All right. Just refreshing for a bit. There we are. Excuse me. Let's see here. Any others? Southern Miss, a loss, gives them the number 12 seed in the Sun Belt. And the Sun Belt, if you want to see the Sun Belt, here, let me show you how chaotic it is. Because, like I mentioned earlier, I already locked in James Madison to that number 1 seed in the Sun Belt. Although they haven't really clinched it yet. That's what they said on Wikipedia. I know you can't trust Wikipedia anymore, but then again, I don't listen. There is. So if you want to look at how chaotic the Sun Belt tournament is, here's the first part. It is a series of 2 gauntlets, the longest I've ever seen. Of course, you have the bottom 4. They're playing for spots right there. Basically, if you are a bottom 4 seed in the Sun Belt, you got to win 7 games in 7 days in order to win the Sun Belt tournament, with each of your opponents being more difficult than the last. And of course, like I mentioned, James Madison's not locked into that 1 seed just yet, but they're getting close. They're getting close. Oh God, what do you have to say on Patreon, Red 5478? Oh dear. Let me go to Patreon. I want to join. Let me join for free. Oh wait, no. Let me log into my Patreon. What do we have here? Yeah, that's what I thought. This one, clearly. Dear Lord. What'd you put? After all the effort, please don't tell me you lost it. Please don't tell me you lost it all. Let's see. So yeah, Central Arkansas is able to beat Lipscomb. Then North Alabama gets the number 1 seed and home court advantage throughout the whole thing. But right now they're down by 10, 9:20 to go. And like I said, the rest are as follows. Florida Gulf Coast will be hosting Queens in the Atlantic Sun quarterfinals. That game is on, I think, on Sunday. Nope, on Monday. On Monday the 3rd. And we have 2 more conferences ending their regular season that day in the Big Sky and the Southland. Like I mentioned, I will not be going live on Saturday because I'm going to a hockey game that day. But we will go over all the conferences. We'll be going over all those conferences along with the Missouri Valley, who ends their regular season on that Sunday. And of course, you got tournament games going on in the Atlantic Sun in the first round. So there you go. Yep. North Alabama clinches a share of the Atlantic Sun regular season championship. So there you go. Oops, I could take that down. They clinch at least a share, so either Lipscomb or North Alabama is going to be in that top slot. Your top 2 seeds have been decided, basically. I didn't realize I had the overlay up there for that long. I apologize. The amount of people that put up a surrender cobra. is crazy. We are at 8 minutes to go. Lipscomb now up by 12. Yeah, man, they just took timeout. 6:41 to go. Right there. Meanwhile, Ohio State takes out Michigan State in women's college basketball. That's a good thing, too, because the men's team is flopping very, very hard. Mandy up 6 with 26 seconds left. They're currently going up against Texas A&M in College Station. So that's going to be a huge upset. Vanderbilt pulls that off. As for the Missouri Valley, Drake up on Evansville 53-52. And Bradley up on Valparaiso by 3, I should say, 2017. Meanwhile, we had a number 13 team, Clemson, beat Notre Dame 83-68. And Auburn won, and it was not even close, 106-76 over Ole Miss. Meanwhile, we have Samuel is the head chef. Jeez. We'll chill. Just end this game already. I don't want to. But I will use the restroom here. I'll be right back, guys. Surprise. Scared you over there for a little bit, did I? But no, we're going to take down restroom break. We're finally back. As you can see, we are at 17 from Lipscomb, 5:22 to go. So it's starting to look like the number 1 seed in the championship game likely hosted in Lipscomb. Shit. All right. Go up. There we go. Semi. Finalists. Are reseated. Oh, come on, you. There we go. Just a little reminder that the semifinalists are reseated. Here we go. So we are at 3:39 to go. Yep. Yeah, as you saw earlier, Navy basketball walks into Bender and stuns first place Americans 68-60. The first home Patriot League loss for the Eagles as the midshipmen sweep the American Eagles. Yep, High Point are your regular season champions. Back-to-back regular season titles for the High Point Panthers in the Big South. They should be getting. Keep in mind, last year they did lose to Longwood in the Big South semifinals. No. You will not get me taken down, Fun. You will not. What? Yep, Vandy wins. They've downed number 12 Texas A&M. As actually, wouldn't they be number? Yeah, they are number 12. Holy crap! And they did it at College Station. It's crazy. Now Texas A&M, they're currently a number 12. They're currently a number 2 seed, but they're going to be dropping. They're going to be dropping after this loss. Vanderbilt's projected right now as a number 10 seed. Yeah, you have 13 teams currently in. Texas and Arkansas being two of the last 4 teams in. And South Dakota just took the lead against North Dakota State, 69-68. Nice. Let's see what's going on in the Missouri Valley race. Drake up on Evansville, 59-55. And Bradley losing to Valparaiso right now. I think that has something to do with some of these. Meanwhile, the Sun Belt's entering its final days of the regular season. Its final regular season day on Friday, and it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a fun day for college basketball, despite only the one regular season ending. So Texas and Arkansas, that's going to be a fun one because that's a fun one going on right now because these are two of the last 4 teams in. So a win here will definitely boost up the resume for both of these programs. Hold on. A foul on the floor. Never mind. That was something more egregious. We're at 4:33. Holy crap, it's gone blurry. Never mind, we're at 3:07 to go, but Lipscomb 3 minutes away from clinching the number 1 seed in the Atlantic Sun. A 3 here is off the rim. Lipscomb, by the way, up by 15. They nearly blew it, but Vanderbilt held on. Another win to bolster the Commodores' resume. Yeah, that is a huge win for Selection Sunday. Very huge. So we're at 90 seconds left. And Lipscomb will call timeout, get the seniors out. They are on their feet in Nashville as Lipscomb find themselves 90 seconds away from a number 1 seed and the right to host Stetson in Central Arkansas. Yep. Lipscomb and North Alabama both go 14-4. They will share the Atlantic Sun regular season title. First championship since 2019 for Lipscomb, while North Alabama gets their first ever regular season crown. Excuse me. That's stolen. Layup, that's pretty much going to seal it. We're going to go ahead and lock that in. So Lipscomb will be the top seed overall. All right, so North Alabama goes in there. Ah! Yep. And there it is, the Lipscomb Bison. The Lipscomb Bisons are the Atlantic Sun regular season champions. North Alabama, both Lipscomb and North Alabama will get a share, but Lipscomb are your champion, are your number one seed. Lipscomb is your number one seed via tiebreaker. Hold on 1 second. I want to add something that we'll go over. So with that, the regular season is done for the Atlantic Sun. We're going to go ahead and go over the brackets soon enough. Eliminated teams. All right, let's go ahead and add these. West Georgia and Bellarmine. Those are your eliminated squads. Whoops. There we go. All right, so bear with us here. We'll go over some of these. All right, that's enough ESPN Plus. That's enough ESPN Plus. You're done. You've served your duty. So there are your eliminated teams. Number 9, of course. There's your eliminated teams. West Georgia and Bellarmine. They will go no further Stetson and Central Arkansas will be traveling to Lipscomb for the right to face the Bisons on Monday. And Austin P in North Florida will travel to North Alabama for the right to take on the Lions in their playing game. Atlantic Sun Tournament is locked in. All right, so let's go ahead. All right, let's go ahead and get set up. Let's go ahead and start going over their top teams. It's not raining. Sorry about that. Had to tell the parents good night. All right, we can stop sharing my screen here because we necessarily don't really need it. So here's my face up close. Hi, how you doing? Do not add stage. Just stop the screen. We're done. We're at least done with that part. So Stets, give me 1 second here. There we go. So your 9-10 matchup. Keep in mind that the two lowest seeds will automatically travel to number 1 Lipscomb. And Austin P in North Florida will travel to North Alabama. Keep in mind the semifinalists are then reseeded. And then, of course, the winner, and of course, the highest seed left will host the Atlantic Sun Championship. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the men's side. Let's look at scores, of course. There's Central Arkansas. So both of these teams, they sit at 8 wins on the year. Central Arkansas, of course, couldn't take out the top team in Lipscomb. So both teams sit at 8-23. So here's some guys to watch out for Stetson. And that is Makai Ellison. I think I remember calling that guy when they won the Atlantic Sun. Yep. A junior, averaging 14.6 points per game and 2.6 assists a game. Josh Massey is your team leader in rebounds with 5 per game. Abramo Kanka with a steal per game, and Jordan Wood with 0.6 blocks per game for Stetson. I'm sorry about that. Now, Stetson, they're going to have a very, very rough road because they ended conference play. They started out 5-3, but then they would go on to lose 9 of their last 10 games. So that's going to be a rough patch for Stetson to get over if they want to make some noise in the Atlantic Sun tournament. And they are going up against Central Arkansas, who they did beat earlier in the season. Now, keep in mind, Central Arkansas, they also go to 8-23. Elias Cato is your leading scorer. Elias Cato is your leading scorer with 15 points per game. Braden Fagbemi is your leader in assists and steals at 4.8 per game and 1.4 per game, respectively. Michael Bikaru with 5.8 rebounds a game, and Nehemiah Turner with 1.1 blocks per game as he played 30 games for the Bears. So Central Arkansas, they have their work cut out for them. Obviously, they lost to Lipscomb. Basically, almost every team lost to Lipscomb at 14-4, North Alabama at 14-4. This is going to be a dramatic Atlantic Sun tournament. So let's go ahead. And like I said earlier, either Stetson or Central Arkansas will go up against Lipscomb. The Bisons sit at 22-9 on the year. And they are led by basically 3 guys. Jacob Okanevich, their team leader in points per game and rebounds per game at 20.3 at 7.9 respectively. Joe Anderson is your assists and steals leader with 3.9 and 2.1 respectively. And Grant Asman is your leader in blocks per game. Even though Grant Asman has played only 24 games, but now let's go ahead and go over the other playing game. That's Austin Peay and North Florida. So the Austin Peay Governors, they could rely on basically one individual, and that is LJ Thomas. He leads the team in 3 categories, and that's points per game at 13.9, rebounds per game at 4.7, and assists per game at 3.7. Tate McCubbin is your steals leader at 1.5, and Javar Daniel with 0.7 blocks a game. And they will be going up against North Florida, who they did end up beating to start conference play. North Florida actually recovered a bit just so they could stay out of that dreaded bottom two, but they could not escape the bottom four of the Atlantic Sun, so they have to play a playing game. Josiah Miles is your points leader at 15.3 per game. Josh Harris is your rebound leader at 6.9 a game. Nice. Jalen Smith is your assist and steals leader at 5.8 and 1.2. And Nate Lateras is your leader at blocks per game at 1.1. And the winner of Austin P in North Florida will be facing North Alabama, who I believe are finally eligible to play for an NCAA tournament berth. Like I mentioned, Lipscomb and North Alabama sharing the regular season title, but Lipscomb with the tiebreaker. Lipscomb with the tiebreaker over North Alabama. Jakari Lane is your leader in points and assists at 16.8 per game and 4.2 per game, respectively. Cornelius Williams sits at 8.9 rebounds a game, and Tay Fields is basically your defensive leader in steals and blocks at 1.5 and 1.1, respectively. And now the 3-6 matchup is Florida Gulf Coast and Queens. And let's see, Florida Gulf Coast. So Florida Gulf Coast will be taking on Queens, a team that they lost to earlier this year. So that's going to be an interesting one. But that was at North Carolina, and this was a game in North Carolina and Queens, and they ended up splitting the series, I should say. So Florida Gulf Coast and Queens, they split the series with the home team winning each one. So that's going to be a huge tiebreaker, especially with the Atlantic Sun Championship on the line. And they do have a well-rounded roster. Dalian Johnson with 14.7 points per game. Keyshawn Kellman with 7.2 rebounds per game and 1.2 blocks per game. Jevon Muniz with 4.3 assists a game. And Ramir Barno with 1.5 steals a game. And now let's head on over to Queens. The Royals of Queens University. And the leading scorer for Queens is Leo Colimero with 13.6 points per game. Malcolm Wilson leads the team in rebounds with 5.5 per game. And he also leads the team in blocks with 3.4 per game. In the assists and steals category, Bryce Cash leads them both with 4.1 and 1.1 respectively. And now let's go ahead and go over Jacksonville and Eastern Kentucky. That's your last quarterfinal matchup. Keep in mind keep in mind, whoever survives the quarterfinals will be reseeded. So Jacksonville and Eastern Kentucky. Jacksonville did pull off the sweep over Eastern Kentucky in the regular season. And we'll see if Jacksonville can win where it matters most in this one. Robert McCray V leads the team in points and assists with 16.5 points per game and 4.4 assists per game. I accidentally clicked one tab too many, so I apologize about what I sounded like there. Stephon Payne III is the leader in rebounds per game and blocks per game at 6.5 and 1 block a game. And Zach Bell leads the team in steals at 1.5. So those are your players to watch out for Jacksonville. And now the final team to go over, last but definitely not least, is Eastern Kentucky, last year's number 1 seed. But of course, they had a shocking upset where they went one and done. So Eastern Kentucky is going to try to get some revenge here. As I mentioned earlier, they did get swept by Jacksonville, so that's going to be some trouble for them. In points and in steals, George Kimball III is your leader with 18 points per game and 2.6 steals per game. Montavious Myrick leads the team in rebounds per game. Devontae Blanton leads the team in assists per game at 4.7. And, of course, Yevons Paul leads the team in blocks per game at 1.2. Now, like I mentioned earlier, Lipscomb wins their first regular season title since 2019, and North Alabama is regular season champions for the first time ever in the Atlantic Sun. We will just wait and see what happens there. But that, I think we can end it here. But so here's how the tournament is going to be run. Of course, you got the playing games on Sunday, March 2nd. And those will be held at Lipscomb and North Alabama. Meanwhile, you have the Atlantic Sun quarterfinals at their respective campus sites the next day. And then you have the Atlantic Sun semifinals on March 6th. On Thursday, March 6th. And then, of course, you got the Atlantic Sun Championship at 2 o'clock on Sunday, March 9th. So there you go. That's how the bracket looks. Cannot wait for it. I think it's gonna be a really, really good tournament. You can't find out. You can definitely find out for sure. But that's gonna do it for me. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to the Red Rubber Duck Win All Sports Network. And be sure to follow us on Twitch. This is our first ever stream on Twitch. So those of you who are part of history, I appreciate you joining in. But that's going to do it for me. And until we meet again, I will see you all on Friday when we cover the Sun Belt regular season finale. Go ahead and take care, y'all.